Good morning. You listen to ForDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is David Thoresen, just announced Senior Vice President of Product Innovation and Business Development at NOX Corporation. David, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Kemp?
I'm good. Congratulations on your new role at NOX Corporation. We'll get to that in just a minute. Let me run through real quick. You've been at several companies focused on resilient flooring, most of it on the commercial side. Most recently, you spent 2.5 years at Armstrong, and then 6 years at Mohawk, 3.5 years at Shaw, 1.5 years at LG. That's where I met you. 9 years at Mannington, and 20 years at Armstrong, right?
Hard to believe I'm that old, yes.
That's right. Somebody can add that up and figure out your age. You've taken about a month off, probably a badly needed month off. I saw you were in Cabo recently with your wife, Kim. So I'm glad you've gotten a break here before you start yet another role. Most people know NOX Corporation, a Korean-based family-owned company with manufacturing in Ohio as of, I think, about 6-7 years ago, but also Korean originally and in Vietnam as well, right?
That's correct. 3 significant plants right now.
Tell us a little bit more about NOX, if you would.
Well, NOX, is, everyone knows, been around for quite some time, and I think their reputation has continued to grow as they developed a pretty significant OEM business in North America. They also have a pretty large business in Europe. They sell a lot of different people around the Pac Rim. So more and more, I think they've really established themselves as a global player. And they've done this with really on efforts and energy of Dan Ko's father, Chairman Ko. And, he's just in the Korean market and a lot of the Asian markets considered just the absolute genius behind a lot of the manufacturing technology that they've brought to bear on the world. Quality, great running products that cost a very reasonable place. Everything that he's done has been, I think, the building block for this company.
Yeah, I did some research. I may be wrong, but it looks like they've been around since 1994. It's about 28 years. Is their product focus all in this LVT area? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I think LVT is probably the dominant product that they push out. But, they've also launched some heterogeneous sheet products that are really gorgeous and, high quality. They've done that very well, but I think they've really spent a lot of time trying to redefine the LVT category with a lot of great inventions. A lot of the loose lay category that really took the market by storm and has really grown into a big place. Really, I think started a lot with NOX. I think other people were experimenting with it, but I think NOX really made it happen. It is primarily LVT. It is primarily some of the sheet vinyl. I think that in the Asian markets, they sell some BCT as well, but that's kind of slowed down.
And what percentage of their business is OEM?
I would have to say, through North America, I'd say the vast majority, probably 80+%, is really in the OEM markets. I mean, that's really where they've focused, and they've been most successful. They really, I think, provide a great story for the OEM customer because, all the OEMs are looking for. They're looking for something where they don't have problems. They look for some high quality that they don't have to mess around with claims. It's really been, I think, their forte all the way along.
I guess it would be accurate to say I rolled through all those companies you've worked for, and with many of them, you've actually developed relationships with NOX and those companies, right?
It's funny how that's worked out. I think as I left LG and went on to Shaw, I think that's the first place I really took a very hard look. I really felt that they are a key player in what they provide. And then when they started working on developing a plant in Ohio, I think that just really put the cap on it for everyone to look at, because now all of a sudden you have an opportunity to draw products from Vietnam, from Seoul, Korea, and also from Ohio. And I think that really is the package that they offer right now that makes it so compelling for everyone.
Yeah, and most people know, too, the commercial side of the business is the more demanding when it comes to resilient flooring. Wouldn't you say a majority of their products, at least for the North American market, services the commercial market?
Everything that I've been exposed to NOX with in my past assignments, I would have to say, was primarily commercial. But they do make a significant amount of product, I think, that they sell into some of the builder markets and things like that. And they sell those through the OEM customer base that they have. That can't be overlooked because it's really starting to add up to be quite a bit. And I think having a plant in Vietnam really offered them the chance to take some of that capacity and move it down there into a place where you can really get a competitive cost.
You mentioned Dan Coe earlier. He's CEO. He's the son of Chairman Coe. What is it you're going to be doing specifically for NOX Corporation?
One of the things Dan and I have spent some time talking about is now that they've got 3 different plants, they've got a multitude of different products from loose lay to glued down to quick products. In the vinyl side, they've also developed several new lines of SPC manufacturing that they haven't even turned on yet. I think they just haven't been able to staff that part of the plant, but it is something that they want to do. So now, moving ahead, there's a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle to put together of which products come from which places, which products should be next on the innovation list to really work on. So there's another big innovation coming out next year that'll be announced where they're changing 100% of their products to recycled content, plant-based PVC. Basically, this has come from a plant-based cooking oil, and it's going to be going into all the products manufactured by NOX, and it's going to come out at basically the same cost that everything is today, but should have a sustainability story that should really wow, I think, a lot of the people that look at this category and have concerns about vinyl.
All right, so this is news you're telling me right now. I mean, this is a bio-based component that they're going to use in almost everything they make.
And basically, it's recycled basically from things like cooking oil and things like that. So it's going to be a brand new concept. I think it's really going to be exciting for the company to make this change across the board.
All right, so you've already started this role, I think just a week or so into it, and you've got a home in Lancaster, so you'll probably be moving out of Pennsylvania, aren't you?
Yes, I think there's probably a time we'll start taking a look at moving back to the south. Lancaster is lovely a town as it has been and a great place to live. I think there's easier places to travel out of, and one of the things I'll be doing more is traveling a lot more. The pandemic really kind of shut down a lot of travel for me, and then the last days at Armstrong also wasn't traveling a lot. So I would have to say, as we look at the forecast for travel, it's going to be pretty high. So getting back to the south, I think, would be a little easier place to have access to get on an airplane. Right now, I think I'm flying out Monday to the HCD show in San Antonio, but it's an hour and 20-minute drive to the Baltimore airport.
One last question. I noticed where NOX Corporation had purchased an innovation center from Hunter Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
You know anything about that?
Yeah, one thing, Dan, is very forward-thinking and is looking at ways to expand the business into new markets. So window treatments are just one of those building product categories that he was looking to explore. So they do make a woven PVC filament or thread that creates a product that NOX has been marketing called Loom. So it's a woven and fabric-inspired top that really is made from PVC thread. So it's very durable and just absolutely gorgeous. So it gives a brand new look.
All right, David, well, thanks so much for spending time with us. Congratulations on your new role. Again, been talking to David Thoresen about his role as Senior VP of Product Innovation and Business Development at NOX Corporation, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.